Chapter 30. The reward is here, the trend is achieved, please vote for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The previous moments replayed in Tang Yuehua's head, especially when she had blurted out Tang Hao's name. Oh my god, Tang Yuehua just wanted the earth to swallow her whole, she'd rather die. Rooted to the spot, she decided to play dead. Zhou Yi, however, was preoccupied, checking his system rewards. Tang Yuehua hadn't triggered a super boost, so the rewards weren't AIM level, but they were still amazing. Reward 1, Bodhi JT, 1 bag. Reward 2, maxed out Spirit Finger, Bodhi JT. Calms the mind and enhances comprehension. Spirit Finger, Lu Xiaofeng signature move. With just 2 fingers, he could clamp any incoming weapon, swords, knives, darts, hidden weapons, even from an awkward or undefendable position. Both rewards are fantastic. Sweet. Zhou Yi was thrilled. Bodhi JT, even a slight improvement in comprehension was a priceless treasure, and a maxed out Spirit Finger. No training, no grinding, just instant perfection. Lu Xiaofeng's Spirit Finger was so legendary that even the proud Shaolin master Ku Gua acknowledged its unprecedented skill. Even the aloof Shimen Chueshua had considered trading his own fingers for Lu Xiaofeng's. Zhou Yi immediately absorbed the Spirit Finger technique. His mind seemed to travel through time, inhabiting a man with 4 eyebrows. Learning and feeling the technique with him, day after day, year after year. His understanding of the Spirit Finger deepened. Beginner, apprentice, expert, master. Zhou Yi snapped back to reality, looking at his right middle and index fingers. They felt longer, stronger, more flexible. The Spirit Finger felt like he practiced it for centuries, ingrained in his bones. It was instinctive, flawless. Zhou Yi checked his stats. Host, Zhou Yi, age, 22. Cultivation, Soul Master, level 36, Wuhuan, Dragon Sword. Kung Fu, Sacred Heart Technique, 211/50,000, Soul Skills, Glimpses, 520 years, so close to the end of the world, 1001 years, Gravity Field, 4000 years, Skills, 14 Deadly Swords, Master, Grandmaster Medical Skills, Master, Spirit Finger, Master, Zhongyi Steps to Immortality, 162/5000, One Sword to Transcend the World, 121/10,000, Heavenly Palace Mirage Success, 152/5000, Shocking Tribulation, 2/10,000, Soul Bone, Wind and Thunder Wings, External Attachment, Special, Wheel Turning. Technique Backpack, Bodhi JT, Eternal Heart, for Absolutes of the Sacred Heart, for Tribulations of the Sacred Heart, 7 Impossible Situations, Nahai Sacred Heart Mantra, Experience Value, 256. Zhou Yi felt fantastic as his power kept growing. He glanced at Tang Yuehua, still faking unconsciousness, and could sense her turmoil, but he felt good right now, really, really good. Zhou Yi wasn't about to back down, so, he took her again. Tang Yuehua's mind was a mess. She hadn't expected Zhou Yi to, again, but soon, she couldn't think at all. Her consciousness faded. This time, though, Zhou Yi was surprised. Tang Yuehua hadn't called out Tang Hao's name. She'd called his. He briefly considered it and understood. Tang Yuehua and Tang Hao were never going to happen. Even if she felt something for Tang Hao as a brother, she would suppress it, and it would turn into an obsession. But the previous encounters had purged her obsession with Tang Hao. Most importantly, Zhou Yi had appeared when she was at her most vulnerable. The poison had weakened her spirit, and Zhou Yi's stunning sword skill had sliced through her soul, leaving an indelible mark. Plus, they'd just been intimate again. Zhou Yi had effectively replaced Tang Hao in her heart. He felt a rush of accomplishment. Little Haozi, he thought, your wife is fire. Little Haozi, your sister is fire. As the sun rose, Zhou Yi, satisfied, looked at Tang Yuehua, her eyes closed, her eyelashes fluttering. He kissed her cheek and said, Yuehua, don't worry. This was unexpected, but I won't let you down. When we get back, I'll propose to the Haotian sect, and you'll marry me, okay? That if he wanted a big, happy family, he couldn't let a woman like Tang Yuehua go. Like Han Xian commanding troops, the more, the merrier. Tang Yuehua's body trembled. After a long pause, she didn't answer. She didn't know how. She'd just met Zhou Yi today. The worst part was, she'd called out Tang Hao's name earlier. How could she face Zhou Yi now? Joey, if you can't face someone, you can also face them with your back. Even if your name is Tang Hao, I will be even more angry. If it feels too soon, we don't have to rush. We can talk about it later when you're ready. Joey didn't push, he'd already sealed the deal. Where was she going to go? Plus, today had been crazy, kidnapped, rescued, then, everything else. It was normal for her to need time. After a moment, Tang Yuehua whispered, "Okay," and sighed. She was so confused, she really didn't know what to do. "You were poisoned, and I lost a little control. I didn't hurt you, did I?" Joey reached out to touch her wound. "No. It's okay, really." Tang Yuehua said, her voice shaky. "Isn't it late? My brother must be worried. Almost dawn." Joey gave Tang Yuehua some medicine, they got dressed, and headed back to Nodding City. The cold wind hit her face, the color in Tang Yuehua's cheeks faded, and Joey's elixir seemed to soothe her wound. She slowly regained her composed demeanor, though with an added touch of maturity that made her even more alluring. "Look! It's Mr. Zhou and Miss Tang." Mr. Zhou rescued Miss Tang. "Wow, Mr. Zhou is amazing. He saved her." The guards on the Nodding City walls spotted them from afar and erupted in cheers. News spread like wildfire. Zhou Yi had saved Tang Yuehua. Tang Xiao, Tang Hao, and Tang Qi hurried over. "Yuehua, are you alright?" Tang Xiao and Tang Hao asked, concerned. Tang Yuehua seemed fine, but who knew what had happened? "I'm fine, thanks to Mr. Zhou," Tang Yuehua said. "Brother Zhou, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. Please, accept our gratitude." Tang Xiao and Tang Hao looked deeply grateful. They'd been worried sick when they couldn't find her. Thank God she was safe. "Brother Xiao, Brother Hao, seriously, I just got lucky. I happened to be tracking the guy and rescued Miss Tang before she was poisoned too badly." Joey helped them up. "We were tracking him all night. After rescuing Miss Tang, we got lost and had to wait for dawn to head back." He explained why they hadn't returned sooner, to avoid anyone thinking Tang Yuehua had been assaulted. Tang Xiao and Tang Hao were overflowing with gratitude. They held a banquet in Zhou Yi's honor, promising he would be a brother to them and to the entire Haotian sect. They would do anything for him. Zhou Yi felt a little awkward. "Tang Yuehua is so fire, and you are so enthusiastic." Zhou Yi saved Tang Yuehua. Ju Douluo, standing beside Bibi Dong, watched Zhou Yi's group from a distance. "The saint is truly insightful." He was even more impressed. Zhou Yi befriended Sword Douluo and gained the support of the Seven Treasure Glazed Tile sect. Now he saved Tang Yuehua and won over the Haotian sect. It's frightening. He's playing the game perfectly. Chapter 31 Unlocking New Achievements. Liu Erlong breaks through. Please vote for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Zhou wedding was over. Tang Yuehua had been found. 2 soul masters who had gathered in Nodding City started to drift out, it being too small for most of them, but Tang Yuehua was still the talk of the town. Everyone knew Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had been hit with a love potion, and Tang Yuehua was likely exposed at the same time. So, how did she deal with it? Did some flower snatcher take care of it? Or Zhou himself? Or some other way? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were curious, but Tang Yuehua waved it off, so they didn't push it, or maybe they were afraid to. Over at the Zhou mansion, in the backyard where the sun was hitting just right, Zhou Yi pulled out his reward from the night before for helping Tang Yuehua. Bodhi jade tea. The tea was in a pure white jade jar that looked like it was made of solidified fat. Zhou Yi couldn't help but click his tongue as he looked at it. The system really comes through. Forget the tea, this jar was worth a fortune. Opening the jar, a rush of fresh aroma filled the air. Zhou Yi felt a cool, refreshing sensation in his mind. His spirit was lifted. He scooped out a few leaves and dropped them into a teapot, then poured in hot water he had boiled nearby. Mist rose, and the rich scent of the tea intensified. While Zhou Yi was brewing, Liu Erlong and Ain came out carrying rocking chairs. The yin's nose twitched as soon as she stepped outside, and she zeroed in on the teapot. "Honey, what's that?" As the blue-silver emperor, 100,000-year-old plant spirit, Ain was extra sensitive to the scent of the Bodhi jade tea. She knew it was something special. Bodhi JT. Joey picked up the teapot and started pouring. Liu Erlong and Ain gathered around. In the afternoon sun, the tea in the celadone cups looked like clear blue water, steaming and fragrant. Just a whiff was enough to invigorate you. When Liu Erlong and Ain smelled the tea up close, their minds cleared and their soul power seemed to flow a little faster. Try it. This stuff's good. It'll sharpen your senses. Joey filled 3 cups, picked one up, blew on it, and took a sip. The fresh, pleasant fragrance burst on his taste buds, leaving his mind clear and refreshed. Liu Erlong and Ain grabbed their own cups and tasted the tea. Ain let out a little moan of satisfaction. This Bodhi tea was delicious, but the taste was secondary. The real draw was the effect. Liu Erlong wore a look of pure enjoyment. As the tea warmed her stomach, a cool sensation spread through her body. Her head felt clear and comfortable. She realized that if she meditated now, her soul power cultivation would be 5 times faster than usual. With that in mind, Liu Erlong took another sip, then settled into her rocking chair to meditate and practice. Ain followed suit, couldn't let it go to waste. Joey sipped his tea and leaned back in his rocking chair. The gentle rocking motion, combined with the warm sun, brought out a lazy feeling. He half closed his eyes, half asleep, half awake, watching the beauties practice as he caught up on his sleep. He hadn't gotten any rest the night before. He'd worked hard to rescue Tang Hao, pouring all his energy into it. The afternoon passed. Liu Erlong came out of her meditation, still buzzing from the effects. She exclaimed, "Honey, I think I can break through to level 40 in 3 days." Reaching level 40 meant getting a soul ring and becoming a soul sect. Soul sects were a whole different ballgame than soul masters. Congrats. Joey smiled. After dinner, sensing Liu Erlong's good mood, he decided to try to get her and Ain together. No way. Liu Erlong and Ain hadn't expected Joey to be so forward. Luckily, Ain was easy to handle. Joey just had to deal with the big dragon, Liu Erlong. After a lot of effort, Joey finally scored a double kill. Later that day, Joey woke up from his tangle of arms and legs, looking at the curvy Erlong on his left and the beautiful, intelligent Ain on his right. He couldn't help but feel a surge of pride and satisfaction. 2 days flew by. Joey's life was amazing. After all, there's a first time, a second time, a third time, and, well, you get the picture. Then, Liu Erlong's aura shook, and she broke through, level 40. She just needed to get a soul ring to officially become a soul sect. "Honey, I did it." Liu Erlong immediately shared the news, throwing her soft, full body into his arms. She was ecstatic. If it weren't for Joey, it would have taken her a lot longer to break through. "Nice. Tomorrow, I'll take you to the Star Doe Forest to get your soul ring." Joey wrapped his arms around Erlong's smooth waist, smiling. "Okay." Liu Erlong nodded eagerly. Getting the soul ring was the next step to becoming a true soul sect. Seeing her excitement, Joey felt a little mischievous. He asked Liu Erlong to turn around and lie face down on the rocking chair. "You dog." Half an hour later, Liu Erlong glared at Joey, then ran back to her room with a yin's help. Joey chuckled, took a sip of Bodhi jade tea, and stretched out on the rocking chair. "Ah, that's the stuff." The moment he lay down, a satisfied groan escaped his lips, and then, he didn't want to move. The sun began to set. The setting sun stained the sky blood red. Liu Erlong, still feeling the effects of Joey's teasing, stayed out of sight. Instead, Tang Hao and Tang Hao came to invite Joey to dinner before they left town. During dinner, Joey saw Tang Hao again. She was dressed in a silver palace gown, dignified and elegant, with a cool demeanor, intelligent and beautiful, and radiating queen energy. On the surface, she acted casually, as if she and Joey weren't close, but having mastered the sacred heart art, especially after weathering the shocking tribulation, Joey had become incredibly perceptive, and he could sense the hidden depths of her feelings. After a satisfying meal and the warm thanks of Tang Hao and Tang Hao, Joey returned to his mansion, but because he had teased Erlong so much during the day, she wouldn't let him in. She and Ain were in cahoots. They explained that the Star Doe Forest was dangerous, and that Joey needed to rest up to avoid getting himself killed. Perfect. With a little effort, Zhou Yi could easily charm his way in and complete the double kill, but then he thought of Tang Yuehua, cool, elegant, and intelligent, that day. That was something else. Later, under the brilliant stars and bright moon, Zhou Yi used his secret steps to leave Zhou Mansion quietly, slip out, do what needs to be done. Chapter 32 Tang Hao was caught eavesdropping. Ask for monthly ticket. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang Yuehua stood silently at the hotel window, gazing at the bright moon, lost in thought. Tomorrow, she was leaving. She wasn't sure how she felt about Zhou Yi. Sleep was impossible tonight. She was a mess. The memory of that day with Zhou Yi in the cave kept replaying in her mind. Zhou Yi's incredible swordsmanship. Zhou Yi's awe-inspiring power. Scenes flashed through her memory like a slideshow. They say the Moon Palace fairy lives on the moon. Tang Yuehua looked up, her beautiful eyes searching the lunar surface. Her crystalline gaze seemed to be trying to spot a fairy. There really is a fairy. Suddenly, Tang Yuehua saw a figure silhouetted against the moonlight, descending from the sky. It was an ethereal, graceful figure, otherworldly. Then, her pupils dilated. The figure was getting closer, and she could make out that it wasn't a fairy, but a man. So handsome. The thought flashed through her mind, and then reality struck. The figure was less than 30 feet away. He was moving unbelievably fast. Ah! Tang Yuehua gasped, thinking she was about to be attacked. After all, who else would visit her late at night? As the thought occurred to her, she realized it wasn't just anyone, it was Zhou Yi. Yuehua, what's wrong? Tang Xiao and Tang Hao's urgent, powerful voices echoed outside, full of worry and anger. Ever since Tang Yuehua was assaulted, they had been on high alert. They were terrified she would be attacked again. It was late, and she might be asleep, so they hadn't barged in. It would be awkward if she wasn't dressed, of course. If she didn't answer and something was wrong, they would kick the door down without hesitation. I'm fine. Tang Yuehua quickly composed herself. Zhou Yi's arrival was a surprise, but she didn't want Tang Xiao and Tang Hao to know anything about her and Zhou Yi. She called out to them, it was just a mouse. It scared me, but I'm okay now. Okay. Glad to hear it. Yuehua, get some sleep. If you need anything, just call. We're right next door. Tang Xiao and Tang Hao sounded relieved. Their footsteps receded, they were leaving. You. Tang Yuehua looked at Zhou Yi, but before she could speak, Zhou Yi kissed her passionately. Tang Yuehua trembled, her eyes widening. They had, before, but those were extenuating circumstances. This was different. She tried to push him away, but he didn't budge. Finally, gasping for breath, Tang Yuehua felt like she was suffocating. Zhou Yi glanced at the door and gestured for her to be quiet. Then he leaned in and whispered in her ear. Your brother and the others are still out there. Tang Yuehua was shocked. She realized her explanation hadn't completely convinced Tang Xiao and Tang Hao. They probably thought she was being held hostage and forced to say everything was all right. They couldn't be sure, they couldn't barge in, so they pretended to leave while still hiding nearby. That way, if there was an attacker, they could catch him off guard and better protect Tang Yuehua from harm. At the same time, it might lower the attacker's defenses. Zhou Yi understood Tang Xiao and Tang Hao's strategy and thought to himself. Looks like those Haotian twins aren't total dummies after all. That if it weren't for his sacred heart art, strong soul, and keen senses, he wouldn't have noticed Tang Xiao and Tang Hao lurking outside. If he and Tang Yuehua were in the middle of something, Tang Xiao and Tang Hao would burst in with their hammers, and then, awkward. Don't make a sound. Tang Yuehua didn't want her affair with Zhou Yi to be exposed, so she signaled him to hide. Then, she quietly approached the door and threw it open. Bang! Bang! Tang Xiao and Tang Hao, who had been eavesdropping, lost their balance and stumbled into the room. Thief, you're dead. Thinking they'd been discovered, Tang Xiao and Tang Hao were about to attack when they saw Tang Yuehua standing before them, staring down at them expressionlessly. They were mortified, and their bravado evaporated. What are you doing? Tang Yuehua demanded. Oh, well, we were worried there might be thieves threatening you, so. Well. Yuehua, since you're okay, we can relax. We'll be going now. Get some sleep. Tang Xiao and Tang Hao scrambled to their feet. They couldn't bring themselves to stay a moment longer. After stammering an explanation, they fled. What a mess. Tang Yuehua was perfectly fine if she was answering the door. They were relieved. Watching them retreat, Tang Yuehua closed the door. A wave of her perfume wafted toward Zhou Yi as she approached him. Why are you here? What happened was just an accident. Let's forget it ever happened and pretend it never happened. Tang Yuehua didn't know how to face Zhou Yi and wanted to run away. Well. But before she could finish, Zhou Yi embraced her, thinking of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao next door. She was terrified and quickly covered his mouth. What are you afraid of? Zhou Yi looked at Tang Yuehua's flushed face and joked, even if they find out, I can just marry you. He meant it, he really wasn't worried about getting caught. No, we can't let them know. You promised me you wouldn't expose our relationship without my permission. Tang Yuehua spoke rapidly, looking nervous. Whatever you want. Seeing Tang Yuehua acting like she was having an affair, Zhou Yi shook his head and smiled. Then, he swept her into his arms and strode toward the bed. What are you doing? Tang Yuehua's heart pounded, and she could barely breathe. I miss you. Those three simple words stunned Tang Yuehua. She couldn't explain how she felt about Zhou Yi, it was all so confusing, maybe. But deep down, she didn't resist his touch. Acting out of modesty, she pushed against his chest. We can't do this. It was just an accident last time, and they'll hear us. Does that mean they won't hear me? Zhou Yi asked playfully, gazing at Tang Yuehua's blushing cheeks. Not without. Tang Yuehua tried to explain, but Zhou Yi didn't let her. I don't care. It's up to you if you want to avoid being discovered. Zhou Yi was enjoying this, it was a thrill. You jerk. Tang Yuehua was helpless and couldn't risk making any noise, but it only seemed to excite Zhou Yi more. Brothers and sisters, we will continue to add more updates tomorrow. Please vote for me every month. If you vote 100 times a month, I will get another update. Chapter 33 The Big Sister of Star Do Forest, Sister Xiaowu is online, please vote for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Tang Xiao and Tang Hao got back to their room, they still looked troubled. Tang Yuehua seemed different somehow since she returned. They both figured they knew what had happened the night Tang Yuehua was snatched by those creeps, but they couldn't just grill her about it, it would only reopen old wounds. They tried pumping Zhou Yi for info, but got nowhere. Suddenly, Tang Xiao and Tang Hao heard some muffled noises from next door. They pressed their ears to the wall to listen in. They could just barely make out Tang Yuehua crying. She was clearly trying to keep it down, so they wouldn't hear. Yuehua's definitely crying her eyes out, hurting bad, but she doesn't want us to worry, so she's holding it all in. She's going through this alone. That's how Tang Xiao and Tang Hao pictured it anyway, and it made them clench their fists, veins bulging. If that scumbag hadn't shown up, none of this would have happened. They'd make him regret the day he was born. They exchanged a look, then slumped down in the corner, listening to Tang Yuehua's stifled sobs, feeling their hearts ache so much it was hard to breathe, but they were powerless to do anything right now. Should they go in and try to comfort her? Probably wouldn't help. Besides, what could they even say? It was all their fault, anyway. If they hadn't been drinking so much that night, that scumbag wouldn't have gotten to her, and that piece of trash, Tang Qi, he was supposed to be protecting Tang Yuehua, but he got plastered. A serious screw-up, he deserved a major punishment. They couldn't sleep, just stewed in their guilt, pain, and regret. Time crawled by, each moment, pure agony. Almost dawn. Tang Xiao and Tang Hao heard a loud sob, then nothing. Yuehua must be exhausted from crying and finally crashed, they figured. They decided to tell the servants not to disturb her, to let Tang Yuehua sleep until she woke up on her own. Meanwhile, Tang Yuehua was indeed teary-eyed, but she wasn't as miserable as Tang Xiao and Tang Hao imagined. Her cheeks were flushed, her eyes sparkled, and she had this radiant, indescribable charm about her. You still haven't left. Tang Yuehua glared at Zhou Yi, annoyed. It was almost morning. If he didn't get going, someone would see him. Don't want to, Zhou whispered in her ear, his breath hot, Yuehua, you're amazing. Get out, Tang Yuehua blushed, unused to such forward words. Okay, Zhou kissed her hard, then quickly vanished before her eyes. Watching him go, Tang Yuehua suddenly felt empty, an odd sense of loss. Jerk. Leaving just like that, so quick and easy. I hate you, Tang Yuehua clutched the quilt. He'd been so passionate, then just up and left without a second thought, like he didn't care at all. Women, they never mean what they say, Zhou reappeared in front of her, pulling her close. So, you admit you don't want me to go? Like I care, seeing Zhou again, Tang Yuehua felt a mix of surprise and happiness, a strange feeling bubbling inside. She knew Zhou was just trying to stir things up. She grabbed his wandering hand. Just go. Okay, but call me Big Brother first. Zhou grinned mischievously. He was finding out that messing with this cool beauty was actually pretty fun. Ugh. Get lost, Tang Yuehua looked away, refusing to say something so silly. Then I'm staying. Zhou held her tighter. I'll just go chat with your uncles about our wedding plans. You're shameless, Tang Yuehua was mortified, but helpless. Sensing Zhou was about to make another move, she gritted her teeth and said reluctantly, fine, Big Brother. Happy? What was that? Didn't quite catch it. Okay. Big Brother. Big Brother, Tang Yuehua whispered in his ear, each word forced out. That's better, Zhou laughed and pinched her red cheek. Alright, I'm off. Be ready for company anytime. Get out, Tang Yuehua threw a pillow at him. What did he think she was, Ready for company? Dirty-minded idiot, he always messed with her head. Zhou grabbed his belt, stood by the window, and tossed the pillow back. Seriously leaving this time, he waved and floated away, leaving without a trace. He was clearly headed toward some kind of elevated realm, as graceful as a god. What an amazing man, Tang Yuehua watched him disappear, her eyes wide. No martial spirit, no wings, yet he could float through the air at incredible speed. It blew her mind. Even title Douluo could fly, but their speed and agility were nothing like that. You needed a flying martial spirit or skill to move freely in the air. Take Tang Chen and Qian Daolu, both level 99, Tang Chen was a genius. He reached level 99 through sheer skill. His combat power was far above Qian Daolu, who relied on divine power, but Qian Daolu's martial spirit was angelic and could fly, so, Qian Daolu could beat Tang Chen in the air, making him virtually unbeatable in the sky. Frustrating, reaching level 99 and still being limited by space. Lame. If Zhou had level 99 strength, he could move so fast he'd break the sound barrier, surrounded by true energy, silencing everything. Even without flying martial arts, he could take on the likes of Qian Daolu. Of course, with his holy heart chi, Zhou wouldn't need level 99 to defeat Qian Daolu. Even at level 90, he'd be confident he was invincible against anyone not a god. And a match for them above that. Back home, Zhou didn't wake anyone and just crashed. After breakfast, Zhou took Liu Erlong to the Star Doe forest to find soul beasts and get soul rings. Zhou had been using his holy heart chi to boost her body, and Liu Erlong was in great shape. This time, Zhou wanted to get her a soul ring that lasted at least 5,000 years. With his sharp senses, it only took him 2 days to find a good one, a volcanic giant crocodile covered in flame scales. About 7,000 years old, the ring was 2,000 years older than what Yu Xiaojiang said was the max of 5,000 years, but Zhou didn't care. One sword cuts the world. Terrifying sword energy burst forth, carrying an unprecedented intent. The volcano giant crocodile roared and shot a pillar of magma, but the sword energy sliced through it. The magma split in two. The sword kept going, seriously wounding the crocodile. It was dying, barely clinging to life. If Zhou hadn't held back, one swipe would have cut it in half. Whoa! Who is that guy? He doesn't even have a martial spirit, but he just took a normal sword and almost killed a 7,000-year-old volcano giant crocodile with one hit. Hidden in the grass, a pink rabbit getting ready for a dip in the hot springs watched with wide eyes. the sword strike had given her chills, a feeling of dread, terror, like she was about to be cut in half, and she was 100,000-year soul beast. The big sister to countless soul beasts in the Star Doe Forest, Little Miss Dance. Please give me your monthly ticket. I still have it in the afternoon. Brothers and sisters, please support me. Erlong Ian is going to be pregnant. Please give her name. Please give her a name or two. It's still a boy and a girl. Chapter 34 The Little Rabbit is easily manipulated. 4th update, please vote for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Honey, you're incredible, Liu Erlong's eyes shone with admiration. They'd just taken down a volcanic giant crocodile, a 7,000-year-old beast that looked like an impenetrable tank, and Zhou Yi had dropped it with a single sword strike. Just figuring that out now. Go absorb the soul ring, Zhou Yi grinned. He knew exactly what this level entailed. Okay. Liu Erlong didn't hesitate. She stepped forward and finished off the crocodile with a quick stab, ending its suffering. Immediately, a purple soul ring, marking 7,000 years of existence, materialized. Thanks to the potent healing power of Zhou Yi's Sacred Heart Qi, Liu Erlong was able to absorb the ring without any issues. Sacred Heart art was potent, almost bringing the dead back to life, helping Liu Erlong absorb a 7,000-year soul ring. Easy peasy. Back then I walked with my hands in my pockets, not knowing who my opponent was. The absorption of the soul ring boosted Liu Erlong's soul power to level 44, a huge jump that saved her a ton of grinding, and Liu Erlong was only 20, remember, Dai Mubai, that supposed prodigy, only reached the soul sect level at 17, and he had to pull some tricks with Tang San to do it. I did it. I actually absorbed a 7,000-year soul ring. Thank you, baby. Liu Erlong was ecstatic, her ample chest heaved with excitement. Before, she couldn't have even imagined her 4th soul ring being that strong. She threw herself into Zhou Yi's arms and gave him a passionate kiss. It was the only way she could express her joy. This was volcanic giant crocodile territory. Most soul beasts had fled long ago, except for one scared rabbit. Zhou Yi ignored it for the moment. Underground, magma flowed. The volcanic giant crocodile liked to bathe in it. Next to the magma was a hot spring pool shrouded in steam. Feeling Liu Erlong's curves against him, Zhou Yi's blood stirred. He scooped her up and jumped into the hot spring with a splash. Ah! Liu Erlong gasped, but before she could react, Zhou Yi was kissing her again. She thought about the past few days. Zhou Yi had gone to great lengths to find a powerful soul beast and help her absorb the soul ring. Hard work paid off. Deeply touched, Liu Erlong let Zhou Yi do as he pleased. Hot spring water splashed everywhere. Everything was steamy and dreamlike. 2 dragons were vaguely visible, caught up in a tempestuous dance. The 7,000-year soul ring granted Liu Erlong the fire dragon breath soul skill, similar to Dai Mubai's white tiger light wave. She could now spit out a ball of fiery red magma, a powerful long-range attack. Liu Erlong adored Zhou Yi, so she put in extra effort for him, turning the favor. Ah! Xiao Wu's ruby eyes were wide with shock. She quickly covered them with her paws, but her fingers were spread wide, like hiding your head in the sand. Her pink fur seemed to turn crimson. Oh my gosh, so that's what humans do. Xiao Wu, this ancient innocent rabbit, was like a curious child, shy but eager to learn. Little rabbit, enjoying the show? Zhou Yi smirked inwardly. His cultivation wasn't high, but his mental strength was exceptional, especially after practicing Sacred Heart art. He'd sensed this sneaky rabbit, 100,000-year soul beast, a while ago. Phantom of Heavenly Palace. Taking advantage of Xiao Wu's distraction, Zhou Yi unleashed the spiritual skill, Phantom of the Heavenly Palace. It used spiritual power to draw on the heart and create a false paradise, trapping people inside. This phantom world could integrate and elevate people's desires, coming from within, but surpassing them. It felt like a dream, beautiful beyond imagination. Xiao Wu, caught between shyness and curiosity, didn't realize she'd been tricked. In an instant, she found herself in a fairyland, face to face with a majestic god named Zhou Yi. He was perfection, he was divinity, he was boundless, beyond words, he was the mother of all things, embracing everything. She wanted to be closer, she would do anything to be with him. give up everything. This phantom world fulfilled and amplified Xiao Wu's desires, coming from her heart, but transcending it, leaving her spellbound. Little rabbit, let's get in the pot. Zhou Yi chuckled to himself and turned his attention back to Liu Erlong. Night fell. Zhou Yi emerged from the hot spring with the limp Liu Erlong in his arms. He started a fire and roasted an elk for dinner, then, he went to the nearby grass. The little rabbit was sound asleep, lost in the dream of the phantom of the heavenly palace. Zhou Yi tugged her ears and said to Liu Erlong. Look what I found, a pink bunny. He brought the rabbit to Liu Erlong. What a cute bunny. Liu Erlong petted the rabbit's head. Just then, Xiaowu snapped out of the phantom of the heavenly palace and woke up. Her big ruby eyes fixed on Zhou Yi and Liu Erlong, seeing Zhou Yi made her fur flush even brighter. And a girl, too. Zhou Yi flipped Xiaowu over playfully, grinning. Hiss! Xiaowu seemed to explode, struggling fiercely and baring her teeth at Zhou Yi, consumed by shame and anger, but she didn't speak. She didn't want to reveal she was 100,000-year soul beast. Hey, Erlong, think this rabbit's shy? Zhou Yi teased. She seems intelligent. Liu Erlong nodded. Since Xiao Wu wasn't using soul power, Liu Erlong assumed she was just an ordinary rabbit. You jerk. You're so shameless, doing that in broad daylight. Xiao Wu raged silently. She couldn't break free from Zhou Yi's grasp without revealing her true identity. After being tormented by Zhou Yi, she finally escaped. She glared at Zhou Yi and vanished into the grass. Zhou Yi had let her go on purpose. He wasn't a pervert, he wasn't interested in rabbits, not until the rabbit turned into a human. With the influence of the phantom of Zhou Yi's heavenly palace, the rabbit wouldn't be able to resist transforming. Zhou Yi's image would be burned into her mind, just waiting for the right time. No, there was no need for Zhou Yi to come to harvest. The rabbit might be tempted to send it to your door after its transformation. They rested for the night. The next day, Zhou Yi and Liu Erlong headed back. Help! Let me go! On the way, Zhou Yi heard cries for help in the distance, two very attractive voices. Zhou Yi rushed forward without hesitation and saw 3 soul masters attacking a caravan. They were currently holding 2 beautiful girls captive. Let those girls go! Chapter 35 Reward Explosion. Shishi Li Baishi, 5th update. Please vote for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let her go. Righteousness blazing, Zhou Yi charged forward without hesitation. He roared when things got dicey and acted when action was needed. You're asking for it. Barely old enough to shave, and you're already playing hero, saving damsels. The soul master leader was livid. He activated his blood wolf martial soul, and 4 soul rings blazed around him, marking him as a formidable soul sect master. Snicked, snicked. Zhou Yi moved like the wind. The sharp iron sword, empowered with true energy, sliced through the necks of 3 soul masters in a flash. It was sharper than any magical weapon. Blood sprayed. The 3 soul masters stared, eyes wide with disbelief. Never to fight again. Isn't the standard soul master fight to activate your martial soul and then unleash your soul skills? What was that? Especially the 2 in the back, who had their throats cut before they even had time to summon their martial souls. Zhou Yi had grown tired of standard martial arts. He reveled in the feeling of riding a spirited horse, dressed in shining armor, a lone swordsman wandering the land, killing a man every 10 steps, leaving no trace for miles. Amazing! So cool, that the 2 girls were stunned. They had never seen a soul master quite like him. Ladies, are you all right? Zhou Yi approached, all grace and gentleness. Seeing these 2 girls, he felt a pang of attraction. Even though they weren't soul masters, their beauty and poise outshone even Liu Erlong, and they were gifted with incredible bone structure, true martial arts prodigies. We were fine. Snapping out of their daze, the girls, their faces flushing, bowed gracefully to Zhou Yi. I am Shishi Li Baishi, and we thank you for saving us. We have no way to repay you for such a kindness. If you'll have us, we offer our lives to serve you as repayment for your great generosity. Their voices, filled with gratitude and admiration, sounded like a soft lament, like smoke drifting on the wind, like the spring breeze caressing orchids. a sound that resonated deep within his heart. Well. Zhou Yi was speechless, gazing at their lovely faces and elegant figures. This happiness came on pretty strong, almost too good to be true. Powerful men killed our parents and servants, and we have nowhere to go. We only ask that you help us bury them, take us in, and have mercy on us. The two women knelt, their beauty having made them a target for covetous soul masters. Now, helpless and defenseless, their future was bleak, either sold off or becoming someone's plaything. Zhou Yi was handsome, strong, young, and seemed like a good person, their best option. Besides, even if Zhou Yi rescued them out of lust, he was still their benefactor. Better to follow Zhou Yi than fall into the hands of someone unknown. These evil soul masters are despicable. Liu Erlong arrived and saw the corpses scattered around. Hearing the girl's story, she was overcome with sympathy. As a soul master, she had the strength to take care of herself, but Li Shishi and Li Baishi, two beautiful and vulnerable women, were easy prey. Without the protection of a strong individual, their fate would be grim. Thinking of Zhou Yi's power, Liu Erlong, still trembling, said, "Honey, why don't we take them in?" Of course. Liu Erlong could see that Zhou Yi was interested in the two women. Instead of waiting for him to agree, she thought it would be best to speak up first and show him how generous she could be. That always pleased men. "Since you agree, Erlong, I have no objections." Zhou Yi looked at Li Shishi and Li Baishi and helped them up. "Don't worry, my home is your home now." "Thank you, sir, thank you, madam." The two expressed their gratitude, their voices soft and clear, delicate and tender, with a girlish breath as fragrant as orchids. They're like something out of a fairy tale. No wonder a soul master tried to snatch them. Zhou Yi admitted he'd felt the urge to kidnap them himself. He certainly lived up to his name. He was indeed worthy of Li Shishi and Li Baishi. The next day, Zhou Yi helped them bury their parents and servants, then brought them home. "Honey," Ain happily greeted him, but she was taken aback when she saw the sisters. What a sight! Their figures were elegant, their skin like porcelain, and their beauty was unmatched. Even someone as beautiful as Ain was impressed. "Ain, let me introduce you." After introducing Li Shishi and Li Baishi to Ain, Zhou Yi arranged for their accommodation. Later, Zhou Yi learned about the girl's situation. Neither had innate soul power and couldn't become soul masters. Li Shishi's martial soul was a little blue lion. Li Baishi's martial soul was a white lion cub. That's where their names came from. Logically, a lion martial soul should be a strong beast martial soul. But their situation was similar to Yu Xiaojiang's martial soul. Both martial souls had mutated into living creatures, two lion cubs, one blue and one white, with no attack power. "Don't worry, you both have a lot of potential. If you work hard, I'll make you strong, able to control your own destiny, and never be bullied again." Zhou Yi examined their bodies and said with confidence. Zhou Yi couldn't be certain if their martial souls could mutate again, but they had incredible bone structure. Even though they were starting to train late, Zhou Yi could use the Holy Heart Qi to cleanse their marrow and veins, making them strong enough. Of course, the Holy Heart technique was too important to reveal until he had the strength. But Zhou Yi could teach them swordsmanship and the meridians and acupoints first. What's more, Zhou Yi was also simplifying the Holy Heart technique, preparing to create a simple method of internal strength cultivation. "Master, you're so kind." The two girls' eyes shone, deeply touched. Zhou Yi had not only taken them in but also wanted them to become stronger. They now knew Zhou Yi's reputation, the #1 theoretical master in Douluo continent, creator of the theory of psychic power, master of swordsmanship and spirituality, master of sword Douluo. "Master, if you want us, we're ready." Li Shishi, her face as red as blood, whispered, her voice barely audible. "Shishi, Baishi, I'll arrange a proper wedding for you later." Zhou Yi promised. "Master, meeting you is a blessing that we cultivated for 3 lifetimes. We dare not ask for anything else. Please, be kind to us, Master." The two women lowered their heads shyly, their voices soft and delicate, like a clear spring flowing through one's heart. The moonlight gently illuminated their shoulders and faces, highlighting their breathtaking beauty. Zhou Yi couldn't help but feel a little overwhelmed. The legendary courtesan Li Shishi of the capital and Li Baishi, the goddess of orioles and flowers in the snow, must have been like this. "Fairies," That night, Zhou Yi experienced pure bliss. He wouldn't trade it for anything, not even a god. The next day, late in the morning, Zhou Yi finally had time to assess his gains. For rewards for 2 people, Reward 1, 9-yin Manual, Reward 2, Lingbo Weibu, Reward 3, Lingshuang Sword, Reward 4, Transformation Pill, 5th update. Please vote and recommend me, brothers and sisters, please support me. Chapter 36 Extra Reward Gift Package, Liu Erlong is pregnant, please vote for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 9-yin Manual, Lingbo Weibu, Lingshuang Sword, and Transformation Pill, Jackpot. Zhou Yi was stoked. The 9-yin Manual, while maybe not Sacred Heart art level, was still an incredibly potent and comprehensive skill set, perfect to pass on to Liu Erlong, Yin, Li Baishi, Li Shishi, and the gang. Plus, if Zhou Yi decided to snag the martial ancestor god's throne later, he'd need to spread martial arts far and wide. The Sacred Heart technique was off limits for mass distribution, but some of the 9-yin Manual's techniques? Fair game. Lingbo Weibu was awesome too. Not just fancy footwork, but also boosted internal strength. Sometimes, darting around in tight spaces to dodge attacks was way better than the Zhongyi climbing immortal step. The Lingshuang sword was a legendary weapon straight out of the demon sword chess of life and death, forged over a decade, using 10,000-year icy spring as the base, blood from the demonic sword relics as its soul, and 9 dragon stone as, well, also its soul, a top-tier magic weapon with ice powers. Its sword energy was frosty and proud, and it could even raise the dead. Plus, the Lingshuang sword could split into 2, the heart sword and the demon sword, righteousness blazing, heart and sword as one, invincible when blood was spilled, the heart sword destined for life, the demon sword for death, 2 sides of the same coin. Zhou Yi wasn't usually a martial arts guy, but this Lingshuang sword finally gave him a magic sword he could actually use, and the transformation pill converted soul beasts into human form without nerfing their power. A fantastic treasure, no doubt. Maybe grab that rabbit first. Thinking about soul beasts, the 100,000-year-old pain in the butt 2 Xiaowu popped into Zhou Yi's head. Ding! Congrats, host, for hitting 5 women. Here's a phased gift pack. Huh. Phased gift packs exist. Zhou Yi's eyes lit up. He figured he needed 10 to get a major reward, but 5 was apparently a thing. Still, a 10-score gift pack would definitely be better. Gimme that gift bag. Zhou Yi couldn't wait to see what was inside. Reward 1, Dugu 9 swords, maxed out. Reward 2, your women's training speed doubles. Now that's what I call a phased gift pack. Sweet, Zhou Yi thought to himself. Gotta integrate with the maxed out Dugu 9 swords. Zhou Yi claimed his rewards. Instantly, his mind was linked to a dude in green, across time and space. He watched the guy practice every move with a long sword, the whole shebang, breaking sword style, breaking saber style, breaking arrow style, breaking chi style, beginner, novice, expert, master, time blurred. Zhou Yi snapped back to reality, 2 sword intense blazing in his eyes, impossible to ignore. The maxed out Dugu 9 swords crammed Zhou Yi's head with insane sword knowledge, even Feng Qingyang would have to bow down. Next, all the info from the 9-yin Manual flooded in. Too bad it needed actual training or stat points. Zhou Yi was too busy for that right now. He'd also racked up over 1,000 experience points during all this. Zhou Yi grabbed 1,000 and dumped them into Lingbo Weibu. His mind was yanked into another body, comprehending and practicing like crazy. He wasn't sure how long it had been, but, Lingbo slight footsteps, Zhou Yi came back to himself, feeling like he'd practiced Lingbo Weibu a million times. He checked his stat sheet. Host, Zhou Yi, age, 22. Rank, Soul Master, level 38, Spirit. Dragon Sword, skills, Sacred Heart Technique, 251/50,000. Soul skills, glimpses, 520 years, worlds apart, 1001 years, gravity field, 4000 years, abilities, 14 life-snatching swords, mastered, Grandmaster healing, mastered, 1 finger of Lingxi, mastered, Dugu 9 swords, mastered, tiny immortal step, 182/5000, 1 sword to end the world, 151/10,000, Heavenly Palace Phantom, Novice. 162/5000, Heaven-Shaking Tribulation, Adept, 12/10,000, Lingbo Weibu, Beginner, 0/2000, Soul Bone, Wind and Thunder Wings, External, Unique, Wheel Turning. Technique, Inventory, Bodhi Jade Tea, Eternal Heart, Sacred Heart Quad, Sacred Heart Tribulation, 7 Impossible Scenarios, Nahai Sacred Heart Mantra, 9 Yin Manual, Transformation Pill, Lingshuang Sword, Experience, 156. 1 word, awesome. 2 words, off the charts. Zhou was feeling good. All that Bodhi Jade Tea and Shirquan Tonic had sped up his progress. Now a level 38 Soul Master, Soul Sect was just days away. After checking his rewards, Zhou looked at Li Shishir and Li Baishi, asleep in his arms. Their fair skin was rosy and inviting, a few tears clinging to the corners of their eyes, thick green hair flowed down, skin as white as bone, slender bodies, ample curves, delicate shoulders, slim waists, perfection. Especially their snowy faces with those pure, beautiful features, their charming expressions, their bodies as bright as white jade. It made your heart pound, your blood boil, and your mind go crazy. Suddenly, Li Baishi's eyelashes fluttered. She opened her eyes and locked eyes with Zhou Yi. She looked away shyly and whispered, "Master." Her soft, melodic voice was like an enchanting spell. How could Zhou Yi resist? Soon, Master Li was jolted awake and dragged into the fray amid her screams. Past noon, Zhou Yizai got up, refreshed, with the 2 women tending to his every need. After lunch, Zhou Yi relaxed in his rocking chair, soaking up the sun, sipping tea, and enjoying life. Li Shishir and Li Baishi fussed over him, making tea and massaging his shoulders, making Zhou Yi feel like he'd arrived in paradise. But Zhou Yi wasn't just slacking. He was also teaching Li Shishir, Li Baishi, Liu Erlong, and Yin about meridians and pressure points. This is the laughter point. Zhou Yi reached out and touched Li Baishi. He. He. Li Baishi burst into uncontrollable giggles. Amazing. Incredible. Liu Erlong, Yin, and Li Shishir were floored. Seeing the magic of pressure point kung fu, they all buckled down and started studying. "Sir, Sword Douluo and Master Xiaojiang are here to see you." A maid arrived to inform Zhou Yi. "Send them in." Zhou Yi said casually. "Yes, sir." The maid bowed respectfully. Li Shishir, Li Baishi, and the others tidied themselves up and stood behind Zhou Yi. Soon, Sword Douluo Chen Xian and Yu Xiaojiang arrived together. What a view! Yu Xiaojiang was stunned by Li Shishir and Li Baishi. He'd heard rumors about Zhou Yi bringing back 2 stunning beauties. He hadn't realized they were this gorgeous. The teacher sure hit the jackpot. Yu Xiaojiang was envious. He averted his gaze and bowed with Chen Xian before Zhou Yi. Disciple greets the teacher. Greetings, ladies. No need for formalities. Zhou Yi glanced at them and said. What brings you here? Teacher, this compilation of the Book of Changes is complete. Please review it. Yu Xiaojiang presented a book respectfully. Good work. Appreciate the effort. Zhou Yi took the book with satisfaction. Yu Xiaojiang might not be strong, but he was useful, especially for organizing material. It's my duty to ease the teacher's burden. Zhou Yi nodded and turned to Chen Xian. Here for sword tips. You know me, teacher, Chen Xian confirmed. Now at level 96, he was there to learn more about swordsmanship. Perfect timing. I just picked up a new set of sword techniques. I'll pass them on. Zhou Yi thought for a moment and decided to share the Dugu 9 swords with Sword Douluo. Xiaojiang, you can learn it too. Even if your soul power is capped, your combat skills will get a serious boost. Yes, thank you, teacher. Much appreciated, teacher. Yu Xiaojiang and Chen Xian were ecstatic, looking at Zhou Yi with anticipation. They wondered what new skills Zhou Yi had up his sleeve. Chen Xian, let's spar first. Zhou Yi stood up, drew an iron sword, and addressed Chen Xian. Please, teacher. Chen Xian was ready to go, grabbing an iron sword himself. Whenever you're ready. Zhou Yi held his sword casually, his eyes calm. Despite being much younger than Chen Xian, he carried himself with the air of a master swordsman. Forgive me, teacher. Chen Xian charged in with his sword. Zhou Yi deflected it with ease. The maxed-out Dugan 9 swords flowed effortlessly through him. Yu Xiaojiang, Liu Erlong, and the others watched in amazement. In the Douluo continent, soul masters focused on soul skills. They relied on them and rarely studied other techniques. The Dugan 9 swords shook their worldview. Breaking sword style, that the move was genius. It instantly shattered Chen Xian's defense. By the time Chen Xian realized what happened, the sword was at his throat. Incredible. Chen Xian was impressed. He'd never seen anything like it. The teacher was truly amazing. He'd definitely chosen the right mentor. This set of swordsmanship is called Dugan 9 swords. 9 styles in total. Each one adapts endlessly. There's no retreat. Every move is an attack. When you attack, you must also defend. Zhou Yi demonstrated and explained, not just to Chen Xian and Yu Xiaojiang, but also to Liu Erlong, Yin, Li Baishi, and Li Shishi, who were all studying intently. Dugu 9 swords. Is this the same as the sword demon Dugu's undefeated style? That they all wondered silently, in their minds. Dugu Qiufei was Zhou Yi. Alright, today we'll cover the breaking sword style. Practice it. Come back tomorrow. Zhou Yi told Chen Xian and Yu Xiaojiang. Yes, teacher. Chen Xian and Yu Xiaojiang left, faces glowing with excitement, their awe and respect for Zhou Yi deepening, creating such exquisite sword skills. He was a swordsmanship prodigy, and they had a terrifying suspicion. The Dugu 9 sword seemed connected to the sword demon Dugu's undefeated style. Did the ruthless swords, sentimental swords, UNV swords Zhou Yi mentioned also have corresponding peerless techniques? Had Zhou Yi learned all of it from nature and observing the natural world? The more they thought, the more scared they became. Zhou Yi was a natural-born swordsman. Studying under him was the luckiest thing in their lives. The following days, Zhou Yi taught Chen Xian, Yu Xiaojiang, and others sword skills every afternoon. For Li Baishi, Li Shishi, Liu Erlong, and Yin, Zhou Yi provided extra lessons on pressure points, meridians, and other essential knowledge. This would lay the foundation for them to practice the 9 manual later. Every night, he took turns spending time with Liu Erlong, Yin, and the Li sisters. Zhou Yi was living the dream. The beauty of these women captivated him more and more each day. The end of April arrived quickly. One day, Zhou Yi swept Liu Erlong into his arms, ready to review the daily agenda, but Liu Erlong grabbed his wandering hand. Husband, I think I'm pregnant. That she was late this month. Wait, really? Zhou Yi, who hadn't given it much thought, perked up, his eyes lighting up. Zhou Yi immediately checked Liu Erlong's pulse, confirmed Liu Erlong was pregnant. Ha ha ha. Fantastic. Zhou Yi scooped up Liu Erlong's curvy body and kissed her face hard. His eyes were shining with excitement. Over a month of hard work, finally, success. Chapter 37 Level 40. Goodbye Xiao Wu, please vote for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No sweat, 1 point for the win. Dragon number 2 is finally here. I'm gonna be a dad. Zhou Yi was stoked, his face beaming. All that hard work these past few weeks. Totally worth it. Seeing Zhou Yi so excited, like a little kid, brought a bright, happy smile to Liu Erlong's face, and she cradled her belly with this new, glowing maternal vibe. Erlong, from here on out, you gotta take it easy and look after yourself. Zhou Yi's head was spinning. Suddenly, he was flooded with a million old wives' tales about pregnancy, everything she needed to eat, do, and avoid. He was on it. Soon enough, Yin, Li Shishi, Li Baishi, and the others heard about Liu Erlong's pregnancy and came running to give their congratulations. Congrats, Liu. Congrats, sis Liu. Way to go, Liu Erlong. Seeing Zhou Yi looking so happy and hyped up, Yin, Li Shishi, and Li Baishi were all green with envy, hoping they'd be next to have Zhou Yi's kid. Later that night, Liu Erlong, touched by how much Zhou Yi was looking after her, stopped him from staying with her and told him to go keep Yin and Shishi company. She knew what Xiaowu was like these days, couldn't go a night without someone in his bed. And she couldn't exactly help him out right now. Of course, she had other ways of keeping him happy. Xiaowu didn't push it and headed over to Yin's room. That night, Yin, clearly feeling inspired by Erlong, was all about getting pregnant ASAP. She brought the heat like never before. Xiaowu was a happy man. "That's my girl, Yin." After that, Li Shishi and Li Baishi were just as eager to please. Xiaowu finally understood what it meant when they said the king was too busy handling affairs to get any work done. 2 weeks flew by. Xiaowu was rubbing his lower back. Good thing he was a master healer, had the superpowered recovery of the Sacred Heart art, and that gift his ancestors passed down. Otherwise, he'd have been out for the count. Now he understood why those ancient emperors died so young. The day arrived, Xiaowu hit level 40 and was heading to Star Do Forest to snag a soul ring. He also planned to check in on that bunny he knew. "Master, I'm here." Chen Xian showed up and bowed respectfully to Xiaowu. He'd learned the Dugu 9 swords, and now it was all about practice and understanding. But the more he worked at it, the more amazed he was. Soul masters on Douluo continent were all about soul skills, which came from soul rings dropped by soul beasts, basically, free power-ups, and people loved free stuff, which meant nobody was trying to create their own soul skills or anything. Chen Xian was all about swords, but he'd never had any real way to train. The Dugu 9 swords was like a lighthouse in the middle of the ocean, showing him the way. All he had to do was pour his heart into studying it and practice like crazy. His swordsmanship was going to keep getting better and better. If he could master the Dugu 9 swords, hitting level 99 would be a piece of cake. Chen Xian thought Xiaowu was basically a god, a sword god. "I called you here because I'm level 40 and I gotta head out to the Star Do Forest to get a soul ring." Xiaowu looked at Chen Xian. "I'm leaving the mansion's safety in your hands while I'm gone. Master, don't sweat it. As long as I'm breathing, no one's laying a hand on any of the ladies." Chen Xian was quick to reassure him. He wouldn't even think about tagging along to hunt soul beasts and help Xiaowu get soul rings. Xiaowu was way too strong, he didn't need any help. Chen Xian wasn't sure what Xiaowu's limit was, but the strength he'd shown so far was insane. Chen Xian even had this strong feeling that if they threw down, all out, no holds barred, Xiaowu would be the one walking away, not him. A level 96 title Douluo. "Good to know I can count on you." Xiaowu nodded, explaining things just to be safe. Besides, he'd set up plenty of traps and tricks for Liu Erlong and the others, stuff that could take out even 2 title Douluo with poison. Leaving Nodding City, Xiaowu took one step forward and just flew straight up into the sky, like he was taking a stroll in his backyard. Felt like he was in heaven, could have just walked up the clouds to godhood, but that took way too much juice. So, the wind and thunder wings popped out on Xiaowu's back, and with a crackle of thunder, he took off towards the Star Do Forest. This time, Xiaowu was after a 10,000-year soul beast. With his current physique, pairing a 4th soul ring with a 10,000-year one would be a breeze. Roar. Xiaowu was cruising over the Star Do Forest, trying to find a soul beast that seemed right, when he heard a tiger's roar in the distance. The sound waves were huge, deafening, making people's souls tremble, giving them the spins, and triggering killer headaches. "Whoa, a tiger that knows how to roar." Xiaowu was intrigued. He moved like a shot, appearing above a big, golden tiger, and started analyzing it based on his crazy knowledge of soul beasts. This mutated tiger soul beast was probably worth around 15,000 years. Bingo! Xiaowu wasn't expecting to find one, but since he stumbled across it and thought it was a good match, he was going for it. 15,000 years was perfect, he could handle that. Time to bring the pain from above. Swordsmanship. Xiaowu pulled out the Lingshuang sword, and his body and the sword became one. Divine weapon, heavenly sword, unleashed and ready to kill. Roar. The golden tiger's fur stood on end, its eyes widened, and a bright, deadly sword light was getting bigger and bigger in its vision. Ho! Roar! Roar. The golden tiger knew it was in danger and roared. Again and again, the sound waves rolled out, crushing everything, the plants, the earth, the rocks, everything was getting blown apart, and the sound waves were like crazy tides constantly crashing into Xiaowu. Xiaowu was solid as a rock, his body turned into a sword, falling from the sky. No one could describe how bright and awesome this sword was. No one could describe how fast it moved. It wasn't just a sword anymore, it was the wrath of the thunder god, a lightning strike, boom. The sword light went straight through the golden tiger's head and stopped 10 feet behind it. Zhou Yi appeared, holding the Lingshuang sword, standing calm and collected. You're the first soul I've killed with the Lingshuang sword. But you won't be the last, Zhou Yi said quietly, bang. The ground shook, the tiger crashed, and a black soul ring slowly floated out. Zhou Yi stuck the Lingshuang sword in the ground, sat down, and started soaking up the soul ring. The 15,000-year-old soul ring was packed with raw soul power, but with the insane magic of the sacred heart art, Zhou Yi refined it no sweat, and his level shot up to 42. Tiger roars and dragon roars. Nice. Zhou Yi realized the soul skill he got was similar to the golden tiger's, with both sound waves and soul attacks, and it came with the power of both a tiger and a dragon, which could scare the living daylights out of anything. Little rabbit, now that I'm here, why don't you come on out? Zhou Yi looked at the grass beside him. Just like that, a pink rabbit with soft, smooth fur hopped out. Who else but that rabbit, 100,000-year soul beast? When Zhou Yi showed up, that rabbit knew and came running right over. You're here already. After Xiaowu was grabbed, she had a feeling Zhou Yi knew she was 100,000-year soul beast, so she wasn't hiding it anymore, but thinking about Zhou Yi flipping her over to see what she was. Xiaowu was full of shame and anger. Compared to a 10,000-year-old soul beast, you're indeed young, rogue rabbit. Zhou Yi said seriously, 100,000 years soul beast. The 100,000 years thing is the time cultivated, not the age. Therefore, 100,000-year soul beast has not necessarily lived for 100,000 years. You're the bad guy, the big bad guy. I'm gonna bite you. Xiaowu, embarrassed and angry, charged at Zhou Yi, teeth and claws ready. One finger of consonants. Zhou Yi moved like lightning, with perfect eyesight and a sharp finger. He grabbed the 2 long rabbit ears in an instant, then he grabbed the rogue rabbit's ears and twirled her around in the air. Chapter 38. Madam, you don't want anything to happen to Xiaowu, right? Ask for monthly ticket. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let me go, Xiaowu yelled, probably because Zhou Yi's earlier use of the Heavenly Palace Phantom had really gotten to her. She didn't use any of her soul skills, they seemed to be just playing around. Little rabbit, check this out. Zhou Yi held up the transformation pill. The powerful aroma hit Xiaowu, and she instantly quieted down, staring at the pill with wide, eager eyes. Even though she didn't know what it was, as a soul beast, every cell in her body craved it. Eat it. Eat it, star. What is it? Xiaowu swallowed, resisting the urge to devour the pill, and asked curiously. It's a transformation pill. It'll turn you into a human while preserving your cultivation. The simple sentence widened Xiaowu's eyes in shock and disbelief. A 100,000-year-old soul beast could transform into a human. But after the transformation, you lose your strength and have to train again. If this transformation pill was the real deal, it was unbelievable, but the longing coming from inside her told her the pill was genuine. What's the catch? Xiaowu looked at the pill with longing, but she had lived for tens of thousands of years and wasn't stupid. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Marry me. Zhou Yi grinned. Xiaowu paused, then said, okay. It wasn't just because of the transformation pill. The last time they met, Zhou Yi had made a real impression, and flipped her over. Over the past few days, she'd been constantly thinking about him. She had lost her appetite, so when she sensed Zhou Yi's arrival, she rushed over, just to see him. Just like I thought, the Star Do Forest's big sister is a straight shooter. Zhou Yi smiled. Soul beasts really were different from humans, not so reserved and shy. Here, open up. Zhou Yi put the transformation pill into Xiaowu's mouth. Stop. Suddenly, a shout rang out. A gust of wind accompanied a long, shapely leg that swung towards Zhou Yi's face. Damn! Zhou Yi's head swiveled as the leg grazed his face, kicking up a gust of wind that stung his skin. Show off, more like a slap than a caress, and Zhou Yi's anger flared. He drew his sword and struck, *boom. terrifying sword energy swept out, and the otherworldly intention seemed to split the world. The powerful force instantly knocked the attacker away. Mom, Xiao Wu had just swallowed the transformation pill when she saw her mother attacking. She barely reacted before her mom was blasted away, her face filled with worry. The next moment, before Xiao Wu could explain, the transformation pill took effect. A rich, red light erupted from her body, engulfing her. Xiao Wu's mother, Yen Rou, glowed as her 9 soul rings flared. She jumped up and rushed over again, but seeing the changes in Xiao Wu, she stopped dead in her tracks. Xiao Wu, Yen Rou's eyes were full of rage, combined with worry for her daughter and anger towards Zhou Yi, as she shouted, "You bastard! What did you do to Xiao Wu?" That she had noticed Xiao Wu had been distracted and troubled lately, so she secretly followed her. She arrived just in time to see a human grabbing Xiao Wu, and forcing her to swallow something. How could he do this? What did you do to Xiao Wu? Zhou Yi looked at Yen Rou and had to admit she was more attractive than Xiao Wu. More mature, fuller, her coolness offset by a soft warmth that made you want to tease her. Could this be the legacy of Wei Wu and the spirit of Cao Cao? Looking up and down Yen Rou's graceful form, Zhou Yi grinned, Ling Shuang's sword in hand, like a classic villain. What do you think? I'll kill you. Yen Rou assumed Zhou Yi had poisoned Xiao Wu, and she flew into a rage. Her 9 soul rings flared, and she exploded with power. 5th soul skill, Soft Bone Lock, a control skill that used the body's flexibility to lock the opponent and restrict their movements. It couldn't be unlocked until the soul power was 5 levels higher. It also took at least 5 seconds to open. Yen Rou could see that Zhou Yi was young and his soul power would never exceed hers. Once he was locked, he was hers. There was no way he could break free. Though she shouted angrily, she didn't really want to kill Zhou Yi directly, not because she was kind. She needed to know what he had given Xiao Wu. She had to keep him alive and torture out the antidote. Yen Rou's long legs whipped out like tough vines or flexible poisonous snakes, locking around Zhou Yi's neck in an instant. Her hands locked his arms, pressing her body against him, trapping him tightly. Zhou Yi didn't resist. Otherwise, even with the cultivation of a title Douluo and her 5th soul skill, she couldn't hold him. Of course, Zhou Yi wasn't just giving up because of a pretty face. Despite appearances, he was in control. For starters, using Jingmu Jie could seriously damage Yen Rou's soul and free him. But Zhou Yi was a reasonable guy with a good temper and didn't hit women, especially attractive women. Using force wasn't the way to go. He was a civilized man, mostly human. Tell me what you did to Xiao Wu. Staring at Zhou Yi, Yen Rou felt confident she had him. Let Xiao Wu go, and I'll spare your life. Well. Zhou Yi looked up at Yen Rou and mumbled to himself. You realize what's happening? Yen Rou sighed in relief, feeling contempt. She didn't expect someone so handsome to be such a pushover, bullying the weak and fearing the strong. She hadn't even tried yet, and he was already scared. So white. Zhou Yi's comment startled Yen Rou, and she followed his gaze downwards. A blush spread across her face. You pervert. Ashamed and angry, Yen Rou twisted away from his eyes, grabbing Zhou Yi's arm fiercely. Boy, if you don't want to suffer, hand over the antidote, or you'll wish you were dead. Zhou Yi regretted not seeing more, but his face held a spring breeze smile. He didn't look like a prisoner at all. Yen Rou frowned, a sense of unease growing. Did this human male have a trump card? Young soul masters were usually escorted by elders to obtain soul rings. Talented soul masters would be guarded by powerful soul masters. It wouldn't be surprising if a monster like Zhou Yi had a title Douluo following him. This could be bad. Boy, don't stall. Give me the antidote now, or I'll kill you. If you kill me, Xiao Wu will suffer 49 days of torture before her body rots and she dies. Meeting the rogue rabbit's mother was rare, so Zhou Yi decided to mess with her. Yen Rou trembled. She couldn't imagine such a death. You think I won't kill you? Yen Rou's voice was harsh, her grip tightening, almost breaking his arm. Torture me all you want. See if I can't take it, and give in to your power. Looking at Yen Rou, Zhou Yi suddenly roared while she was anxious and afraid. I'm not afraid of death. Are you? Asterisk boom, star, Zhou Yi's voice was like a thunderclap in Yan Rou's mind, and she seemed to lose her soul, her grip loosened involuntarily. She wasn't afraid of death, but she was afraid of something happening to Xiao Wu. Zhou Yi's toughness had broken her heart, because Xiao Wu was her weakness. She was paralyzed on Zhou Yi, looking pitiful, weak, and helpless. Zhou Yi's momentum grew stronger. Although suppressed, he seemed to stand on the 9 heavens, overlooking Yan Rou. Madam, you don't want anything to happen to Xiao Wu, right? Reader, let go of Xiao Wu's mother, and let me do it. Countless monthly tickets were spent. Zhou Yi died. Chapter 39 Titan Giant Ape, I am a good son-in-law, absolutely reliable, please vote for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ma'am, you wouldn't want anything to happen to Xiao Wu, would you? Yan Rou's face changed, her beautiful eyes fixed on Zhou Yi, a storm of anger, fear, helplessness, everything, swirling within them. If anything happens to Xiao Wu, Yan Rou hissed, the threat laced with venom, I'll tear you apart, piece by piece. You'll wish you were never born, but the wounded expression, like a kicked puppy, was more pathetic than threatening. I'm not afraid to die. Zhou Yi met her gaze, his voice deepening with challenge. And you? Yan Rou fell silent. Ma'am, please. Zhou Yi gestured dismissively. Go ahead. Tear me apart. At least I'll have that little bunny to keep me company in hell. After a long silence, Yan Rou's composure crumbled. What do you want? She finally asked, defeated. Let Xiao Wu go, and I'll give you everything, my soul rings, my soul bones. Do whatever you want with them. She knew human soul masters craved the soul rings and bones of soul beasts, especially those of 100,000-year-old beasts like herself and Xiao Wu. They were priceless treasures. What would I do with your soul rings and bones? Zhou Yi waved it off. Honestly, he wasn't interested. Why were soul masters on the Douluo continent obsessed with 100,000-year soul beast remains? Because their soul rings were incredibly powerful, and their soul bones granted an extra soul skill, that was a huge advantage for soul masters, whose strength lay in their unique abilities. At the same level, a soul bone meant one more skill than your opponent, but Zhou Yi possessed countless supernatural powers. Most of the time, he didn't even bother activating his martial soul, let alone his soul skills. You don't want my soul rings or bones? Yan Rou was shocked. She'd never met a soul master like him. Weren't those supposed to be the ultimate prizes? Then, she felt Zhou Yi's eyes sweep over her, and a strange mix of shame, anger, and, inexplicably, hope bloomed within her. He seemed to want her. That was workable. If he didn't care about the rings and bones, maybe he could be persuaded to let Xiao Wu live. Maybe she wouldn't have to die. At worst, she'd have to give herself to him. He's so handsome. If it saves Xiao Wu, it might not be so bad. 1,000 thoughts raced through her mind, and a faint blush rose on her cheeks. Remembering Xiao Wu's peril, she spoke quickly, just let Xiao Wu go, and I'll do anything you ask. She even added a seductive glance, pulling out all the stops to save her daughter. Seriously, Zhou Yi had only meant to tease mother and daughter, to get even for the cheap shot. If he hadn't dodged, she would have turned his face into a bloody pulp. He'd wanted to teach Mother Rabbit a lesson and have some fun. He hadn't expected her to come on to him. A soft bone charm rabbit lived up to its name. Xiao Wu's second soul skill was charm. Soft smoke was almost the same. Soul beasts usually had the same tricks. How could a guy like Zhou Yi resist? Don't worry, Xiao Wu's fine now, and she'll stay that way, Zhou Yi said, giving Yan Rou a knowing look. In the future. Yan Rou glanced at Xiao Wu and made up her mind. She grabbed Zhou Yi's hand, snatched up the blood-red ball containing Xiao Wu with the other, and hurried back the way she'd come. Zhou Yi let her lead him, inhaling the faint, feminine fragrance of her hair. It was intoxicating. Soon, Yan Rou led Zhou Yi and Xiao Wu to a beautiful valley, teeming with life. A thatched cottage nestled within. Yan Rou checked on Xiao Wu, whose aura seemed stable within the crimson sphere. She relaxed slightly. She'd never seen anything like Xiao Wu's condition, and she didn't know what kind of poison Zhou Yi had given her, but it must be potent. It was why she was playing nice with him. She wouldn't gamble with Xiao Wu's life. after confirming that Xiaowu was safe for the moment, Yan Rou ushered Zhou Yi into the cottage, closed the door, and pushed him onto the couch. I hope you keep your word. If you're lying to me, you'll regret it, she said, stalking toward him. This wasn't the shy, blushing approach of a human woman. Whoa, Zhou Yi said, a little breathless. He'd thought she was a damsel in distress, but she did everything with such intensity. 1 second, she's a poor, helpless rabbit, the next, she's a take-charge CEO. Zhou Yi was starting to feel like he was the one being taken advantage of. Damn it. She was the mother of Rogue Rabbit. Gangster. Was he getting played? He felt like he was being used. No way. Man had to make a stand. He had to take control. Cold moonlight streamed through the window, casting 2 intertwined shadows on the wall. Time ticked by. Boom. Boom. Suddenly, the ground shuddered as if something enormous was approaching from the mountains. Zhou Yi couldn't see it, just like you can't see a mountain when you're stuck inside it, but his mental senses registered a massive figure entering the valley. It was like a walking mountain, its dark fur glistening under the starlight. It moved on all fours, but its shoulders stood over 7 meters tall. Standing upright, it would be 15 meters. It resembled a chimpanzee, jet black except for its topaz-like eyes. Every inch of its body was covered in granite-hard muscles that rippled like hills. Aunt Yen. Xiao Wu, that the thunderous roar echoed through the valley. Yen Rou, still dazed, snapped awake, startled. Oh, boy, Zhou Yi muttered, this was trouble, double trouble. Erming. What are you doing here so late? Yen Rou asked, her voice strained. Aunt Yen, are you okay? The Titan Giant Ape, Erming, boomed, where's Xiao Wu? I heard you ran into some awful humans. Are you alright? Everything's fine. Yen Rou glared at Zhou Yi and called out, Xiao Wu's asleep. We can talk tomorrow. Okay, I'll stay out here. Call if you need anything. Erming started looking for a place to rest. No, Erming, please, go home. Yen Rou said quickly. If Erming saw Zhou Yi, all hell would break loose. He'd tear Zhou Yi limb from limb. It would be satisfying, but it would ruin everything for Xiao Wu, and after all, she'd sacrificed. She couldn't let Erming mess things up. Aunt Yen, don't worry, I'll be quiet. I won't disturb you. Erming figured Xiao Wu was still shaken up, so she'd gone to bed early. He'd keep watch, so she could feel safe, and her future mother-in-law, Aunt Yen, could rest easy. He was reliable, a great son-in-law, worthy of trust. Yen Rou's muffled voice came from inside the cottage. Erming shot to his feet, concerned. Aunt Yen, what's wrong? P.S. Yen Rou, what's wrong? You haven't even bought a ticket, and you think you can be my son-in-law?